I call a meeting to order. This is the Michigan City Port Authority Board of Directors meeting, Monday, June the 6th. Our first order of business will be to review the minutes from the May 16th meeting. Do we have any comments or questions on the minutes?
Move we accept the minutes as written.
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the minutes. Those who agree, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, and the minutes are approved. I assume that everybody had a good holiday, and I assume everything was really busy here at the Port Authority over the holiday. At this point, we always give our guest a chance to address the board.
Nothing.
You'll have an opportunity later, Mr. Cooper. May we have the harbor master's report, please?
Okay, as you remember, last time I talked about the fence at Trail Creek got hit by a car that came off the boulevard. We're currently working with General Insurance to get the police report and find out if the driver had insurance or not. And we've also gotten two estimates have been returned. We had 4 outfits come and look at the damage. So that's ongoing. And then the other thing I'd like to draw your attention to is the Port Authority Summer Soiree. This is sponsored by Blue Chip. They first did it last year and felt it was successful enough they wanted to do it again this year. So all the boaters here are invited to Blue Chip on Friday, June 10th from 7 to 9. I believe it'll be in their Stardust Event Center, and they'll have hors d'oeuvres and a cash bar. Last year they also had I guess you'd call it like a Jimmy Buffett band or an island music kind of band. And there were probably close to 200 people there last year, and they all seemed to really enjoy it. So you're all invited, and if you would like to come, please mark this sheet. Blue Chip did ask us to try to get a rough head count so they can have enough food and everything. So unless there's any questions, I'll leave it at that for now. I went to it last year and I thought it was pretty nice. So.
Yes, I was there. It was nice.
How did we get the word out to our voters?
We do an email blast, and we also hang posters around in all the bathrooms and the bulletin boards.
Is there anything you have to show to get in that you are a voter? Or?
No.
No.
At least there wasn't last year.
Any other questions of the harbor master? Any other questions? Thank you for your report. Mrs. Pilicki, may we have your report, please?
For April and May, we have the fishing tournament gas sales. This is all of our gas sales all together, not just the fishing tournament, because we don't have a way of determining which boats were tournament boats and which boats were not. And it's divided between the gas and the diesel. And we also have a new list for new customers. We're up to 102. I believe it's like 14 more since the last board meeting 3 weeks ago. And then there's also the occupancy and revenue report you have. And that's all I have.
Board members, you have any comments or questions for Mrs. Pilicki? I have a couple comments that I'd like to make regarding her report on new customers and in our rentals in general. This is a positive report. for example, Washington Park Marina is 86% rented on the 1st of June. You know, we got another 5 months left in the season. 86% rented at Washington Park. There's 102 new families as 2016 slip holders. People who people who were not with us last year. We now have, and this is good news, we now have a waiting list for 25s, 30s, 45s, 100-foot slips, and for personal watercraft. Those slips are filled in June. We haven't had that for a long, long time, guys. And I just think that you ought to really, really be proud about that. 46 of these new renters were referred to us by existing customers. You know, the boating community is a tight community. But I think it just really says something about what it is the staff does here every day and how well they do it, that the people that are here like it well enough that they want to see their friends and family here. And as a result, they brought us 46 new customers. 22 of those new customers, of those 22 of those 102 new customers, were as a result of people being overnight renters. They have their boat somewhere. They belong to a marina somewhere. They spend a night here, and they become slip holders at Michigan City. They left where they were and came here. That says they liked what they saw. And it's just, you know, another real compliment to the staff. 5 of those 102 new renters discovered us on the website. And we put a lot of time into the website, and we're proud of it. Sometimes you think, well, is it really doing any good? Well, you know, in terms of dollars and cents, those 5 new slip holders from the website amount to well over $10,000 of income. So it's worth the time and effort. And of course, Mrs. Mayer is going to be working close with the staff on the website and reviewing it on a regular basis. So it does have an importance to us. 79 of those 102 new renters do not live in Michigan City. And the important part of that statement is that in terms of Michigan City's economy and what our impact may be on it, those slip holders are not going to just be here once in a while. They're going to be here often. They're going to be here with their families. And they're going to be using restaurants and gasoline and other things in Michigan City that all go into supporting the local economy. So I just think the staff needs to be recognized and appreciated. I know any number of times the harbor master has mentioned to me, he said, recreational boating is supposed to be fun. And we keep talking about that to the staff, and we try to make it fun for our customers. So I think it's working.
Well, thank you.
You guys, you're doing a lot of things right. And I'm sure that all the board members appreciate that as much as I do. Mr. Garrett,
Yes.
will you take us through the financial report, please?
I sure can. Before you, we have our bills to be paid. I'm going to just touch on a few of the items. Second one down from the top is a bill for $2,646.83, and that's for the lines being put in our parking lots. 2 down from there is for $3,035.55 is trash removal. About a third of the way down for $7,132.67 is a payroll entry, and about halfway down for $3,125.36 is Delisle Landscaping. Right below that for $5,374 is repairs and from MB Electric. 5 down from there, $1,984.50 is TC Security bill from them, and then 4 from the bottom is for $3,000 even, and it's for the pond repairs and concrete repairs from out front. So those items that I just discussed total about $26,296, leaves about $15,000 for the rest of them. And with that said, I make a motion that we pay our bills as presented.
I second that motion.
We have a motion to pay our bills, and a second. Board, do you have questions or comments?
The MB Electric, Tim, we had pretty chunky one on there last month. Is this still more of that? We had about 5,000 on the last
No,
month.
this is related to the new fountain and
Oh,
a couple of outlets that we swapped out
Gotcha.
on the dock.
That's the $7,100.32.
No, that's a NIPSCO one.
Yeah.
So that's the
MB was 5374.
74.
Are there other questions or comments from the board? Other questions or comments? Hearing none, those who favor the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. We pay our bills. Do you have anything else, Mr. Garrett?
Yes, I have been notified that we have a CD coming up to be renewed. And after talking with Ms. Pilecki, we looked at there's just 3 different options we can go with. There is a 1 year at 0.7 for from M Bank. There's a 15-month for 0.85 from Community Bank, and for 2 years we can get 1.2 from Wells Fargo. Just kind of crunching the numbers a few minutes ago. If we do the 2 year, it's about $3,000 a year we would have in income. The 1 year is about $1,700. So, with that said, I would recommend that we do 2 years at 1.2 rate from Wells Fargo Bank, and these all actually come through Fifth Third, but it's for our CD that's $250,000.
Okay.
I agree with Mr. Garrett. I think it's time that we go with a little longer term. The rates, it's been slow to come up, but we've seen a little positive adjustment here. So I agree with him. I think it's time we go with a 2 year at 1.2%. So I do second that motion.
Well, based on what we hear from the financial community, that's going to be a good rate. It really isn't going to go up any more than that, I don't believe.
For a while.
I was surprised to see that number. So.
And we've been toying with that for a couple of years now. We've been kind of hedging a little bit. I think it's time to go ahead and accept that. I just totally agree with Mr. Garrett.
Does that mean you second the motion?
I did second that motion.
Board, you have questions or comments? Questions or comments? Hearing none, those who favor the motion, please say aye. Opposed, same sign. Okay. So we go with the, what is it, 1.2?
1.2.
Okay. Do you have anything else?
That is all.
Mr. Manor is not with us this evening. Mr. Ferguson, you have anything on master planning or special projects?
Nothing on master planning or special projects, but I did have a question that Mr. Manor would have touched base on park liaison. I was wondering if the park department liaison, he's not here, but I was wondering if Tim had anything with the master plan development with the park that they might, anything you might know over and above what we've
Nothing
heard
new
lately?
at this time.
Okay. I do not have anything else.
Okay. Mr. Messina, Board of Communications and Special Events.
Yes, under special events, kind of typed up and it's kind of under the same vein you're talking about with new voters and how we receive them, how they become voters in our community. And the Hoosier Coho Club, along with the Michigan City Port Authority, had a smoltz, and our smoltz are actually a child under the age of 18 that's in a sponsored event from the Michigan City High School. They have an actual fishing club, a fishing team that they have. So these are new boaters that, potential boaters and fishermen that will be here. But we had an event May 18th. The teacher is Mark Myers. He's kind of the leader of the group. And like I say, along with volunteers from the Coho Club, we have 4 or 5 events every year. And we did have one in May, which was a salmon and trout fishing event. Just out in front, 2 of our local boat captains volunteered their boats to take kids out. I think each boat took out like 4 or 5 kids, along with an adult or another sponsor. Each boat did catch fish. And I think we have another event coming up later this month, and I think it's going to be just a perch event. So not only do they get to go out and catch fish, but they learn how to set rods, how equipment works. We bring them back to the docks, take them over to the cleaning station, and they actually go through the process of cleaning fish and filleting them out, putting them on ice, and how to retain them. So it's a good thing. I think this month, like I say, is probably a perch event, so we'll have once again a couple boats that will volunteer their time, take these kids out, and actually show them how to perch fish right here in our community. So that's what I have on the smoltz outing, and I have a copy if you want to keep it for notes. That would be fine. Also had a report something else that's been going on for the last 5 weeks. The Coho Capital World Derby. That's run by the LaPorte County Tourism Bureau and also the Hoosier Coho Club. Like I say, it's a 5-week event. Each week, the largest of each species, the trout and or the salmon, weighed in, receives $100. We keep track of all those, take pictures of them. And also the winner overall at the end of the 5-week received an extra $500 cash bonus, and that's all paid from the LaPorte County Tourism. The winner, and that just ended up really yesterday at 4 o'clock. I came down and picked up all the sheets and all the pictures. Winners, and the winners that we had overall were not from town, which is probably good also, and Angela Potter from Bedford, Iowa. Probably on a charter or something, or maybe just here, or I don't have the reason or why they were here fishing. But they came out with 18-pound, 14-ounce lake trout, which is a big fish for the event. Chris Reed from Scottsville, Michigan, had a 21-pound, 5-ounce salmon. Just a fun event. There's no charge to get into it. It's really between the Michigan City Port Authority and the Hoosier Coho Club and the LaPorte County Tourism Bureau that actually run this event, along with a couple sponsors and volunteers, I should say, more so than sponsors. Captain Rick Wright from the Tourism Bureau is very instrumental in this, doing a lot of the paperwork. Both Mike McKee and myself come down and monitor it and check the fish, check the scales all the time. So just another event that has taken place.
You might want to tell them that we helped them out by doing it at our gas stop, that the gas stop attendants weighed in the fish for them.
That is true, yes. We did ask the staff if they would help us by doing that. It worked out a lot better than where it used to be. We'd take them downtown to one of the sporting goods stores. A lot of fishermen didn't want to take their fish down there to be weighed in and brought them back with the rest of them clean. So having it here right at the gas stop was not an inconvenience, I don't believe. I talked to the gentlemen last night, and they kind of enjoyed seeing the fish brought in and being weighed in. So just another report on something else, and I have a copy of that if you'd like it. Also, during, since our last meeting, I guess it's been 3 weeks, we had the Shrine fishing event, where we have Shriners, and that was on May 6th and 7th. Little thing here, that the weather was great, the lake was calm, and we had really 82 participants that came in to Michigan City from Michigan, Ohio, Florida, Iowa, Illinois, and Indiana. And they enjoyed the 2 days of salmon and trout fishing on the lake with a lot of our local boats. So these are also potential boaters that see what we have here, not only in the fishing community, but also in the slip rentals that we have here. So they all get to see that. Local boats volunteer their vessels to take out participants. Comments were made from the Shriners that I had talked to, what a great facility our port is. Our fish cleaning station was always neat and clean. There were a lot of fish stories, both big and small. It was discussed over here at the cleaning station. This event's been going on for 42 years. And a lot of the fish that are caught, I think on the first day especially, go to the Masonic homes. And on the second day, most of the fish caught, the actual crew, the gentlemen, the 82 gentlemen, take their fish home to actually show their families and brag about what they had. They were awarded also trophies and plaques for the largest fish in each 3 categories. Any financial donations, which they get some, also reported to the shrine hospitals around the country. So I have an extra copy of that too, if you want it for the minutes or just for your record.
I'll attach.
That's what I have on my done from the last time I got from that 3 weeks ago till now.
Board, do you have any questions or comments?
I remember, and I'm not sure if this ever happened, but we talked about getting a board out there so that when people catch a fish and they can take photos. And did anything ever come of that? I don't.
It's not a debt issue. Kim and I, Mr. Francis, talked about it quite a bit. The Charter Boat Association president was here at one of our meetings and talked a little bit. Since he was here, he was instrumental in talking with Mr. Frame and I on doing all this. He has resigned. He has sold his house, sold his boat, and moving down to Florida, if I'm right. So we're in the process now of retraining, I guess, and talking with the new president of the association.
Okay.
So it's not a debt issue. Mr. Frame and I have picked out, I think, a really great location
Okay.
of where it's going to go.
And they do have boards in front of their boat now that they hang their fish on.
Okay. I know we were just talking about something
Yeah.
that said Michigan City.
But I mean, they do
Yeah, I
all
think it's
have
going to be
their boards.
really a location to get them actually off the physical
Right.
dock. So, you know, slime, naturals, and everything.
Yeah.
Driven up. They do a nice job now, I think, of cleaning up after themselves, hosing it down. But I think a nice central location with probably our logo, with Michigan City logo in the background to show them what we have.
Any other comments or questions? To go back to the Shriners, I'm a former member of the local Shrine Club, and you mentioned that those people were almost local, but not quite. The membership for this local shrine goes as far south as Morocco, Indiana, and it goes as far north as Chicago, about halfway to Fort Wayne, and all the way to the state line, going over to Crown Point and that area. So it's really a great area for us to take an interest in, because anyone that has a boat in that group is a potential Michigan City slipholder. And aside from all the great work the Shrine does, but those would be really, really a great group of people for us to recruit if we possibly could as slipholders. So it's a good report, Dan. Thank you. In terms of the special special events, John, did you have anything you and Dan on the cardboard boat race you want to discuss?
The cardboard was delivered. That was the last I know.
Okay.
We're going to have a class through the police group, I want to say on the 21st, whatever that Wednesday is, down at Trail Creek,
23rd.
23rd.
Harbor Master, have you done anything regarding checking out the electrical system
Down here? Or at Trail Creek?
for the cardboard boat race?
Yeah, Mark has completed his spring go-through and everything checks out okay.
Okay,
You're going to shut down 700 and 800 again?
good. Okay. Anything else? Thank you. Good report. In terms of operations, I just have one thing. This was in the local paper today. Now I'll leave it here for your use. But what this is that the sanitation department has made arrangements to bring in a vessel called the W.G. Jackson, which is a large floating laboratory. And they're going to dock at Millennium Plaza, and they have tours whereby you can make reservations and sign up. You can go out with them. They will be taking water and soil samples out in the lake and process those samples on board. And if you're a member of the group, you get to be a part of that. There'll be 2 days you can do that. And then if you have an interest in it, but you don't want to go out on the boat, they have a dockside tour that's available. That, according to the timing I see here, it's probably an hour that they make the boat available for guests like us to come aboard and hear what they have to say. So you can get more information by reading this, and you can call the sanitary district and make your reservations. And I'll just leave this on the paper for the board to look at after the meeting for those who might be interested in this.
Make a few comments.
And that's the only thing I have to report on port operations. Next on the agenda is advertising and public relations. Mrs. Muir, do you have anything for us?
No reports today.
Okay. You have met with
Yes.
Harbor Master and Mrs. Blicky?
I did do that, about a week or so ago, a little over a week ago, and it went very well. We went over the website and some of the different processes regarding your day-to-day operations and everything, so it went well.
Okay. And I understand you've had a personalized tour of the property and the facilities.
Yes, I enjoyed it immensely too.
What did you find out anything new?
Well, the mayor can be pretty thorough himself, but I did find a few back ways that I was not aware of that could be used. Yes.
Okay. May we have the attorney's report, Mr. Zach?
Certainly, I had one item to report on. Several months ago, I met with the harbor master and staff to talk about some potential changes to the winter storage contracts that are going out. I'm going to meet with Mr. Frame tomorrow to finalize those, and then we should have something to present to the board for its consideration in terms of the winter storage contracts prior to the next board meeting. And that's all I have.
How are we doing on our litigation?
We're doing well. I'm putting together a cost estimate. I believe that at the last meeting you asked me to apprise the board if I thought it was going to be too expensive to try to collect. I believe it's a $4,600 judgment. So the judgment debtor lives in Will County. So that means to get the Illinois courts to step in, there would be travel time into Will County, a filing fee there, and then the cost attendant to preparing all those documents. My best guesstimate right now is it's probably going to run about $800 to get things going in Will County. And that doesn't necessarily, it assumes he's still in Will County now, and he may have left. So if we file something in Will County and spend all that money and then determine he's not there and we don't know where he is, that's money down the drain.
Okay.
So I do have an investigator that works in the Will County area, and if I recall correctly, it's about a $75 charge to find out if the person is still there. So what I hope to do was spend that $75 to confirm he's there, he's still there. And then if he is, then seek the board's permission to go forward and file what we have to file in Will County. So let me take that first step first.
Okay, and then we have one former client who's making payments.
Yeah, he's down to, I think, about $1,200.
Yes.
And under the agreement, he's probably got another 60 days, is my guesstimate, to pay that off.
Yeah.
But
And
he came up with a large chunk of money pretty quickly.
so those two are the finals.
Then there's one other that we're still in the 6-month period. The letter went out, and that triggers the running of the
Yeah.
statute. That's 6 months.
Okay, but the boats that have actually been auctioned,
Mhm.
there's only 2 cases left open, and those are the ones that you just described.
That is correct.
Okay. Board, you have questions?
If you determine that he is in Will County, are you able to recover any of the attorney fees that
Well, I'd have to double check the judgment. I don't recall if it included attorney's fees. I think under the statute you are entitled to attorney's fees. I recall that we secured attorney's fees under the Indiana statute. What I'll need to look into under Illinois is if you can secure the attorney's fees intended to collecting in Illinois as well.
Anything else? Do we have any new business? Any new business? Mr. Cooper, have you changed your mind?
No, wait 2 weeks.
How about advising the board on your schedule and your plans for the junior sale program?
The junior sale program will kick off with this first 2-week session a week from tomorrow. And I saw some of our instructors over starting to clean up our boats and do some things as I came into the meeting this evening. So far, registration is going quite well. We've got a great group of kids that have developed from being participants as youngsters, 8, 9 years old, that have now been certified through U.S. Sail as instructors. And that includes first aid training, safety on water, and so forth. We're looking forward to a great year. As always, we thank the Port Authority for their support, allowing us to store our boats and so forth. I don't have any numbers yet.
What did you have last year?
Last year we had, I believe it was 78.
Yeah.
3 or 4 of them were only in it for 1 week rather than the 2-week. The first session is 2 weeks. The following 2 sessions are 3 weeks each. And then there's a morning session, 3-hour morning session, and 3-hour afternoon session.
Okay. All right. Well, one other issue that we haven't had a chance to share with you is that the staff has spent quite a bit of money and put a lot of effort into cleaning up and organizing the municipal dock. And I'd appreciate it if you get together with the harbor master and talk about the amount of equipment and material and support that you're going to have on the municipal dock and the presentation it will make to our waterborne guests coming into Michigan City. It's obvious to me that we have an awful lot of people coming into our harbor just for a visit. And the only thing they know about Michigan City is what they see when they come into the harbor. So the staff is making a real special effort to clean up and reorganize and beautify, if you will, that whole municipal dock area there. And you're going to be a part of that, so I'd appreciate it if you get together with the staff and work out anything that needs to be worked out.
I certainly will.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Is there anything else? Yes.
I think in the past, we've always given a donation to the junior sale program. Do we need a motion to continue on with that, or is it automatic?
You probably need a motion on it.
We would need a motion? I think it's been a successful program that we've sponsored the past few years. And once again, that's another resource of young kids learning to sail to potentially come into our harbor area. And I'm not sure the amount we have donated to them, Mrs. Pluckey, do you know, or should I hold off till next meeting? I can make the motion then.
Well, we can get that on next agenda.
Okay. We'll talk in between and I'll make the motion next meeting.
All right, thank you. Anything else, board? Well, if there's nothing else, Chair will entertain a motion for adjournment.
Move we adjourn.
I'll second it.
We're adjourned. Our next meeting is June the 20th. Good meeting. Thank you, board.